up, neuvillette? It's been a little bit.
Neuvillette, we're here! Did you want to see us about something?
Huh?
Huh? Why were you just standing there? You daydreaming or thinking something over?
What's up, bro?
I did send someone to fetch you. But as for what I'd like to discuss next, well, I still have some reservations.
Given that we've already made the trip here, you should just tell us. Bet you need us to help you with something, right?
I do indeed have something I'd like to ask you to do. However, you should wait until after I tell you the details, then decide for yourselves whether you'd like to help or not. The situation is this.
Well, you're at the police.
It has come to my attention that the Snezhnayan harbinger known as the Knave wants a diplomatic meeting with you, correct? I heard that she was originally from Fontaine, but for her to suddenly arrive here and abruptly request such a meeting like this, I sincerely advise you to refuse her invitation outright. I'm sure you're aware that her purpose is most likely related to Child's recent predicament. We convicted one of the Snezhnayan harbingers in a court of law, but we have yet to provide any form of detailed report on the matter. This does indeed provide an opportunity for Snezhnaya to put pressure on us. Sure. I believe we should adopt an evasive stance until we can provide a proper explanation and have a preliminary plan on how to deal with the matter.
The problem is, and this is their predicament. I'll put it in a way that most people could probably understand. You see, for anyone that's kind of like lost or confused in this moment, in a diplomatic and governmental way of dealing with law, for Snezhnaya, they lost one of their Fatui harbingers, somebody that is a high class warrior slash representative of their country. So, in Snezhnaya's view, hey, why did you guys just arrest one of our dudes? One of our warriors, one of our representatives? And for Fontaine, their answer is going to be, well, he was found guilty in our court of law. So Snezhnaya is going to be like, hey, so what was the reason why? Do you guys got a good reason? Did he actually commit a crime? And then Fontaine or neuvillette and furina's response to that will be, well, you see, we have a kind of a two-judge justice system. You see, we found him guilty because of one of our judges, which is to put it simply, an AI. Okay, what about the other judge that you said you had a two-judge justice system? Well, neuvillette here, our high justice, found him innocent. Oh, okay. So, is there any evidence to whatever crime he committed? Can we at least review the evidence of what he was found guilty of? Well, you see, our high justice found him actually innocent. He was framed for a crime, and the high justice found him innocent because, well, there was no evidence. He was framed. We found the evidence that he was framed. And so our high justice found him innocent. Oh. Okay. So why did your AI Oracles find him guilty? We don't know. We don't know why he was found guilty. It just found him guilty. I guess the Oracles took a vibe check and found him guilty. Because, the Fatui are typically... They can't say this. You don't want to say this in a diplomatic setting. You can't call the other country a bunch of assholes whenever the popular view is that they're assholes, because then you're just going to destroy any kind of diplomatic integrity. But Fontaine's gonna basically say the Oracles did a vibe check and just found him guilty. That is our assumption. And then Shiznaya's response is gonna be, well, in our opinion, and I think the popular opinion among the whole country, the whole continent, is that you can't find somebody guilty on a vibe check. And so basically what's going to happen now that I've done a parody of this whole situation is that, as you could probably tell based on my parody, that Shiznaya is going to literally say to Fontaine, you guys are running a clown show over there. Give us our guy. And Fontaine is probably not going to have any response to the whole, you guys are running a clown show. See, and that's why, and I'll reiterate what neuvillette said here, I believe we should adopt an evasive stance until we can provide a proper explanation and have a preliminary plan on how to deal with the matter. What neuvillette's saying here is that we got to be able to explain to Shiznaya how and what the hell just happened with this trial for Tartak here. Because not even we know. So that's what's basically going on. And that, in a nutshell, is going on between Shiznaya and Fontaine right now. Let's continue.
No, we shouldn't. I think we should agree to the meeting.
Oh?
Well, you see, we are the ones that owe an explanation. If we keep putting off the meeting, it could easily result in the problem escalating, right? It's like a fight between two friends. If they don't agree to see each other and talk in person, isn't it possible that the friendship could end entirely?
Though diplomatic relations between Fontaine and Snezhnaya could be considered as friendly, it is only superficially so. You wouldn't go so far as to say that our nations are friends, as you did in your example.
It was just an analogy. An analogy, okay?
Moreover, even if we were to talk in person, if we don't have sufficient information prepared, it is quite possible the result wouldn't be restored relations, but a complete falling out.
I don't think we should overthink those possibilities yet. Even if the logic of the divine is not immediately apparent, its wisdom will only be revealed with time. Besides, you'll be at the meeting. If any problems do pop up, you'll have no problem navigating them.
I must clarify that interacting and communicating with people outside of court is not my cup of tea. It seems you think too much of me. But more importantly, when did I agree to join the meeting with you?
You mean you won't come? No, that won't do. I can't go to the meeting alone. You have to accompany me. I must take you with me.
Lady Furina, could there be something else regarding this matter that is being kept from me?
No, not at all. Look, I am the Hydro Archon of Fontaine, Focalor, the god of justice who is loved and adored by many. So I only hope that justice will be served in this matter. Don't overthink it. I'll go find someone to arrange the meeting.
Time for the meeting with the knave and lady funeral assist upon arrives. Oh god, we're actually jumping right to this.
Be considered a diplomatic conference. I prefer to see our meeting today as an ordinary tea party. I assume you see it the same way, Miss Furina?
Arlecchino, the knave and the fourth of the 11 Fatui Harbingers. It has a pyro vision.
Lady Furina?
Oh, right. Just like you said, a tea party. I should thank you for providing the pastries. They look delectable. To make this tea party even more lively, I've invited someone else to join us today.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Monsieur Neuvillette. I was born in Fontaine, so naturally, there's no need to introduce the nation's revered Iudex to me.
Hello. The pleasure is also mine.
First, I would like to thank the two of you. I'm often away on business outside of Fontaine, and I'm told that the children of the House of the Hearth have been well taken care of by you.
That basically is her saying,
I'm
"Oh,
not
I know what
referring
happened."
to when my children, Lyney and Lynnette, were falsely accused by you. Please don't
Yes, she was.
misunderstand.
Yes, she was.
The children of the House of the Hearth are often misunderstood, perhaps due to the reputation of the Fatui. There's no getting around that. All I meant to say is that Fontaine has been stable in recent years. The people are well off and the children lead happy, fulfilled lives. That is something truly worth cherishing, and no one wishes to disrupt such peace.
Now then, you have come regarding the matter of child, correct?
Yes.
Well, yes. It appears the ever-busy Iudex Neuvillette doesn't wish to waste time with diplomatic pleasantries, and hopes that we can get straight to the point of our talk. Yes, as you surmised, understanding child's situation is indeed one of the goals of this trip. As we are both diplomats from Snezhnaya, as well as Fatui harbingers, Child and I have always been colleagues. Were anything to happen in Fontaine, each of us would serve as the other's attorney to resolve the issue. So now, in my capacity as his attorney, I request that Child be turned over to Snezhnaya. We have a responsibility to cooperate with Fontaine and resolve what has happened to him together.
The rules governing attorneys only apply before a trial has concluded. Since a verdict has already been rendered, we see the case as settled. I apologize for being unable to grant your request.
An outright refusal. Very well. I respect all the rules of Fontaine's courts, just as I respect you as Chief Justice. Okay, why don't we back up a step?
Oh,
You
she's got a
don't need
plan.
to transfer Child to us. I only request to enter the Fortress of Meropide to see Child and confirm his condition. It's not like you couldn't even manage to fulfill a simple request like that. Right, Miss Furina?
About that.
The Fortress of Meropide has always been completely autonomous. Even we have no authority to interfere there, and diplomatic issues do not suffice as an excuse. However, if you absolutely must confirm the situation of the Harbinger, I have a proposal.
Okay.
The knave showed up already? Well, Lyney did say that father will be returning soon.
I would have handled this differently. If I were the knave or arlecchino, I would have inquired. I would have inquired about the trial itself, because obviously the trial is not anywhere the way neuvillette and furina expected. In fact, they're confused themselves, and if Arlecchino capitalized on that confusion, that would have only gave her more leverage based on the negotiations, the discussion. So basically, I would have done exactly what I did in my parody, which was to inquire about the trial, basically put it on the table that they're confused about the situation as well, and be like, well, hey, you guys, like I said, to put it simply and put it funny, you guys are running a clown show. You guys don't even understand what the hell happened in your own court. So I, as a representative of Snezhnaya, you guys want to have a steady relationship with us, I demand that this be taken care of. I demand that this issue be resolved, and if you guys can't resolve it in a very just manner, then hand him over. Because you guys have one justice that's saying he's innocent, and you guys don't even have evidence that he committed any crimes. In fact, you guys in your own justice system proved that he was innocent. And you guys have an AI, a machine, that found him guilty, and that only, in our opinion, proves that you guys have a faulty machine. If I were Arlecchino, that would have been how I would handle that situation. Call them out on their clown show and demand that he be released. So, I understand that they, narratively speaking, I understand why they didn't go that route. They wanted to, they wanted to play things up a little bit. They want to play things out for narrative reasons. But someone who kind of understands the underlying methods of how these things would go about in the real world, I see how they would have definitely played out. Alright, let's continue.
We didn't even know that Lyney was from the House of the Hearth at the time, so we kinda overlooked that information.
The knave won't be easy to deal with.
Yes, thank you for your kind advice. I'm well aware of the situation. I also noticed that Lady Furina acts a little odd and unnatural whenever I bring up matters related to the knave.
Could the knave be threatening Lady Furina or something?
If that were the case, then why wouldn't Lady Furina inform me? And what means could the knave possibly have to twist the arm of an Archon?
So maybe that's not very likely. Even though Furina can act a little weird at times, she's still an Archon.
In reality, this problem is even more thorny than it appears. According to reports from the Fortress of Meropide, Child recently disappeared under mysterious circumstances.
Okay. So Child has disappeared within the prison. Interesting. Did he escape?
The details are still unclear. We cannot rule out an escape, but there have also been no reports of him outside of the Fortress of Meropide. Special guards oversee the fortress, and its internal systems are extensive. Combined with the special characteristics of the surrounding terrain, an escape should not be possible. I suspect that there's something else behind Child's disappearance. I was only willing to share this information with you because you are friends of Child, and it is my duty to see justice done.
So this is what you wanted to see us about before.
Yes. I would like you to go to the Fortress of Meropide and investigate Child's disappearance.
Okay.
This was my proposal during our meeting with the knave. Rather than allowing her to intervene, I offered to send someone to find out about Child's situation and report back to her in detail. The knave did not seem satisfied by my proposal, but she still agreed to go along with it for the time being. Her words were, "We will talk more once we have that report."
So that means we bought ourselves some time.
Would it be more convenient to have an official from Fontaine do this?
Firstly, you're already acquainted with Child. Your eyes may discern relevant details there that others would miss. And secondly, is the consideration of the unique nature of the Fortress of Meropide.
Isn't it just Fontaine's prison?
I would not define it so crudely. The Fortress of Meropide is not affiliated with the court system of Fontaine on paper. It has always existed as an autonomous entity. Early in Fontaine's history, criminals were punished with exile, not imprisonment. Even today, sentences against convicted criminals still include exile, just as before. The Fortress of Meropide may seem like a prison, but it should in fact be regarded as a gathering place for exiles. All we do is dispatch guards to keep watch and help maintain security, but we have no right to get involved with any other matters. Although I do have a personal relationship with the administrator there, neither myself nor the courts have the right to be directly involved with the investigation, no matter how serious the grounds.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. That's why you need us to conduct our own investigation as a third party, right?
Correct. I will arrange false charges against you so that you may secretly investigate inside the fortress during your detention. This will save us a lot of unnecessary trouble. So, are you two willing to accept my proposal?
Well, since you are in a tough spot.
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, it seems we're the best choice. Alright, we hereby accept this difficult task. Reluctantly.
You two have my sincere thanks. This matter is of critical importance to Fontaine's current situation. Also, I hope that both of you can keep this operation a secret. We will rendezvous at the Fortress of Meropide's entrance on Erinius once you've prepared yourselves. I will arrange for someone to take you inside.
Prepared ourselves? Is there something we need to prepare?
Perhaps you could enjoy a good meal and have a nice bath. I'm afraid that living conditions inside the fortress are nothing like those on the outside world.
Even though we'll be there on trumped-up charges, we'll be in prison for real. On second thought, is it too late to back out?
You didn't even consider the fact we'd be considered prisoners?
Please do not worry. Since you are sacrificing both your time and quality of life for the sake of delivering this report, you will be compensated according to the highest standards permitted to legal staff, regardless of the outcome.
Now that's more like it. Come on, traveler, let's go eat the best meal we can find. We'll eat so much that we won't need to eat another meal for a whole month. Your treat.
Ah!
Are you leaving now? In that case, please take this cake as a token of my personal gratitude.
Okay.
Oh, no need to thank me for it. Just be sure to enjoy it.
Alright, I got ideas now. I have ideas. How to play the game for a moment. So I'm wondering if maybe the reason that they're not challenging the trial itself is based on the fact that they wanted this to happen. Very interesting.
I'll have that, and that. Oh, and one of those two. Ooh, and no Fanta, thank you.
You just finished eating the cake that neuvillette gave us?
That cake was pretty good. But as soon as Paimon remembered that we were about to go to prison, Paimon's stomach suddenly became completely empty. Now that Paimon thinks about it, we've always been super careful ever since we arrived in Fontaine. Just to avoid breaking any strange laws here. But here we are, about to willingly send ourselves off to the Fortress of Meropide. Maybe this is what they call fate. Let's just try our best to investigate everything quickly once we get there. Paimon doesn't want to stay in prison too long.
Oh, what is that I hear? Is it the taste of a breaking story?
Hey!
What the hell are you talking about?
Here, a taste. And what are you doing here, Charlotte?
Oh, don't remind me. I invited an eyewitness to a case to eat here, and I was planning to get some great material out of him. But he didn't even show up. Calm down, calm down. This is nothing new. As a journalist, you should be used to this by now. And as long as you can score some juicy tidbits from the Traveler, you might still be able to recover the cost of the meal.
You know we can still hear you, Charlotte.
Never mind. It's nothing. I just heard you mention the Fortress of Meropide. You didn't commit a crime, did you? Please tell me all about it.
No way! We would never! We're just going there to... Oh no, Paimon almost forgot that Neuvillette told us to keep it a secret!
We're spoiling the end of a detective novel in pub. We're going there to serve our sentences and redeem ourselves for spoiling...
Huh? You're being arrested for that? Oh. But now that I think about it, I suppose that's not completely unreasonable. That's pretty despicable. Almost as offensive as committing theft.
You mean Paimon really did something that serious?
Didn't even think about anything. You just didn't think any of it.
Paimon really messed up.
Well, in that case, it's nothing particularly newsworthy after all. Oh, how disappointing. Oh, right. There's still a chance. Since you're going to be at the Fortress of Meropide, would you be willing to help me gather some material for a story?
About that, Paimon doesn't think we'll have any time.
Oh, it's nothing difficult. All you have to do is think of a way to get some time face-to-face with the warden of the fortress.
Okay.
He was awarded the honorary title of Duke in Fontaine. Sounds really cool, huh? Only those who have made significant contributions to the nation have been conferred this title. It's incredibly rare. On top of that, the Fortress of Meropide has never been under the jurisdiction of the courts. Practically nobody, including journalists like me, knows anything about the person in charge there. Oh, if I could write an exclusive article about him, I bet it would sell a boatload of papers.
You make it sound easy, but it really depends.
Of course, I wouldn't ask you to do it for free, so this meal is on me.
All right, you got a deal. We'll do anything you want.
God, she's so easy to please.
Then it's settled. The food should be here any second, right? Huh? Wait, just how much did you order?
Well, I hope you got the money for it.
Paimon's so... Well, guess we have nothing to regret now, so let's get going.
I had no idea you could eat so much. That didn't go according to plan. Please, please, don't forget about the material for my news article.
I'll try not to. Find neuvillette at the entrance to the Fortress of Meropide.
Hip.
Alright, who are we going to prison with? Be here.
Need to end a few enemies?
Hard tag.
Don't tell me they did it again.
Fortress of
time to lose.
Meropide. About to go in the building?
Yeah.
No, we go around. Okay. Okay. I mean, this was the entrance to the fortress the whole time. What?
All right, Neuvillette, we're ready. Is this where the entrance is?
You have come, just as promised. Yes, this is the one and only entrance to the Fortress of Meropide from Irenaeus. Careful.
Okay.
You may want to step back a bit.
Whoa! So you have to go down from here? Is the prison underwater?
Utilizing both the barrier of the water as well as the fear humans have of the depths, the Fortress of Meropide is naturally the perfect place to confine and guard criminals. But do not worry. It is not nearly as frightening inside as you may think. You will see for yourselves once you are down there.
Interesting.
Paimon hopes you're right. Don't know about you, but just thinking about being at the bottom of the sea like that gives Paimon the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, and there's one more thing. I mentioned that I have had personal dealings with the administrator of the fortress, Wriothesley. He's a very shrewd fellow.
Yeah, we heard about him too. He's that Duke, right?
Correct. He is the highest-ranking manager of the underwater prison. Even though you are going there to investigate at my behest, it would behoove you to avoid any confrontation with him or any of his subordinates. The Duke rarely ever leaves the Fortress of Meropide, but that does not mean he is not privy to all that is happening inside and outside the fortress. He is quiet, but not unaware, so please bear that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
All right, it's about all the time that we have to talk privately. I'm counting on you two.
Don't worry, we won't let you down.
Good. Madeline!
I'm here, Monsieur Neuvillette. These two are the newest convicts, I presume? Don't worry, they won't escape on my watch.
Like we would try.
Please follow me, you two. I'll process your paperwork for entering the Fortress of Meropide.
Alright. Note, involvement in other quests. To the Star Shining, continue the current quest may cause parts of the following quest to become occupied. Progress cannot be made on occupied quests. Okay, cool.
You know, there are better ways to seek out our enemies than, well, standing here.
Okay, that's cool. I don't care. I mean, I'm planning on finishing this.
No time to lose.
Okay.
Are we already underwater now? Huh. So this is what it feels like to be a criminal in Fontaine.
You two seem to be taking this pretty well. It's rare to see convicts in such a good mood.
Huh? Cool. Okay, that's what a guard looks like. Cool.
Oh, it's you, Madeline. Why'd they make you make the trip down here today?
They felt like it.
Neuvillette personally requested I escort these two convicts. I suppose he was concerned others might not be up to the task.
Well now, aren't you the lucky one? Must be nice to be on good terms with the big shots like the Chief Justice. The only people I get to see every day are the new inmates.
Well, have you tried service with a smile? Who knows? It might help your professional reputation.
Yeah, right. As if. Every criminal comes through here looking miserable. How can I smile with such a toxic work environment? And even if I did smile at them, the convicts would probably just think that I'm some freak getting some kind of twisted enjoyment from their pain.
Oh, she's got a point.
That's true.
Well, I've finished transferring you. You two will register here, and Marette will guide you through the remaining procedures.
Cool.
Yep. I'll take it from here. You head on back to that bright and sunny world above. Okay, let me see. You are the Traveler and Paimon, correct?
That's right.
Yes!
Let me confirm your charges and sentence. Let's see. You two are charged with eating a cake specially prepared for the Archon by a Snezhnayan envoy without the Archon's permission, thereby incapacitating the political center of Fontaine for a brief period. Sentence: 45 days?
Okay.
Wait, you mean the cake that Neuvillette gave us was...
Just looking at the charges, it seems you two are capable of causing some serious trouble. And considering how fond Lady Furina is of sweets, this crime is tantamount to trying to assassinate the Hydro Archon herself.
Flatter us.
Now I've seen everything. Anyway, we still need to finish processing you before you can enter the Fortress of Meropide. Please stand in front of the board over there. I'll take your mugshots with my camera.
Cool.
Oh, all right. But be sure to catch Paimon's good side.
Look at me. I have no soul in my eyes. And a pest.
And we're done. Thank you for your cooperation. Next, someone will be along to guide you inside the fortress. Please be sure to cherish this opportunity for rebirth.
Cool.
Huh? Rebirth? Isn't that a little much? We're only gonna be here for 45 days!
You two are the new inmates, right? Follow me.
Oh, okay! Paimon is Paimon and this is the Traveler!
So,
Save it. Not like I'll remember your names. Move it.
okay. Magic door.
So, are you one of the guards here? Is there anything we should be careful of while we're here?
Nothing for us.
Did Paimon already ask something she wasn't supposed to?
Why should I tell you anything? What's in it for me?
You sure don't seem like you want to be a guard.
This is exactly why I can't stand you fish. I wouldn't even be doing this if it weren't for the credit coupons.
Credit coupons?
Alright, seeing as you're not the annoying kind that's getting dragged in here crying and blubbering, I guess I can tell you a few things. But next time, it'll cost you some coupons. Mora means nothing here. Here, we use credit coupons. Coupons can get you almost anything in the Fortress of Meropide. Desires? Fulfilled. You want power? No problem. Coupons can even change fate itself.
So, credit coupons are a currency that can only be used here?
It's not as simple as that. Like Moret said, everyone gets a chance at rebirth. No matter how much money or power you had before, it means nothing once you set foot inside the Fortress of Meropide. You have to start over and earn your coupons. Everyone starts from the same place, and you have a chance at a new, less terrible life.
Okay.
I guess that's the real purpose of the coupons. They symbolize true fairness and true justice. And this is also exactly why so many criminals choose not to return to the outside world, even after they've served their sentence.
Oh, so that's what the Fortress of Meropide is like. Huh. Paimon was under the impression that it'd be more like a prison.
It certainly ain't all sunshine and roses here, but it's also not the worst place to be. You'd better take a good look at the scenery now. It'll be the last chance you get for a while. After being away from the sunlight for so long, even the terrifying depths of the sea start to feel like home. It just stops feeling oppressive, you know? Oh, I'm actually an inmate like you two. Welcoming newcomers is a job I've picked up to earn some extra coupons.
Have you ever seen a harbinger from Shiznaya? Okay.
Why aren't you answering us again?
I've told you enough for free. Any more info is gonna cost you.
So all you care about is Mora! Wait, no. Coupons?
Almost there. It's down through here. Your turn to give it a try.
Okay.
Yep.
I like the music down there, damn. Music was hitting kind of hard. Okay, they're not gonna do shit. Is this where I came from? Or is this like a different entrance? Okay, yeah, it's a different entrance. Okay.
I wonder what the rest of the Harbingers are up to. Plotting and scheming on an ever grander scale, no doubt.
So, we're going even deeper now? Just how deep down are we?
It's like a metaphor for your previous life, isn't it?
Our lives weren't that bad.
If only you knew.
Where I'm from, if we didn't keep moving, we'd freeze to death. Literally.
Alright, here we go. What happens now?
So this is the actual entrance to the Fortress of Meropide? Huh. It looks like there are other new arrivals, too. Oh, they sure don't look happy. Maybe we look too relaxed for fresh convicts.
You're probably the only one who doesn't fit in.
Oh, right. We're on someone else's territory now. We need to think of a good way to act like criminals to get by. If we're discovered, even Neuvillette might not be able to rescue us.
If we ever get found out.
Hey! Don't scare Paimon! Oh, Paimon's not ready for all this.
Look, I don't really know you, and I have no idea what kind of crime you committed, but you wouldn't have happened to anger someone important, did you?
Someone important? Paimon doesn't think so. Wait, why are you suddenly trying to talk to us now?
Now's not the time to worry about that. Anyway, it's over there, so you just go on over there by yourselves. I've done my job, so good luck.
He had to ask that for a reason.
What was that all about? Wait a second. Are there usually so many garter mechs around here?
Does this mean that...
They're already onto us?
34-5.
Prisoners numbers 7459 and 7560. Welcome. Oh, no need to be anxious. These Gardamex aren't here to attack you. In fact, they're here as your honor guard. When I heard that you were friends of Monsieur Neuvillette, I had the Gardamex come and wait in formation.
Wait! You know about our connection with Neuvillette?
The seafloor isn't as cut off from the world as you might imagine. However, I'm afraid that I know nothing more than that you are friends of the Iudex. And as you can see, committing a crime means being sentenced here, even if you're friends with the Chief Justice. Quite fair.
He must be...
The Duke! Greetings, Your Grace. Lovely weather today, isn't it?
Oh, greetings, my good fellow. Well, I'm willing to imagine that the weather is as good outside the sea as you say it is. How great it would have been if only the Fortress of Meropide had been built on the coast, huh? It would have been so convenient to enjoy a nice chat in the sunshine.
My profuse apologies. I just got so nervous when I saw you,
So this is the Duke. He sure looks a lot younger than Paimon imagined.
The Traveler and Paimon, correct? Mr. Deacon here was responsible for your welcome. I trust you were satisfied with his guidance?
It's okay.
Ah, I see. In that case, I regret to announce that Deacon here has just missed the best opportunity in his prison career to be promoted.
I admit that I was only thinking about the coupons. I'm sorry to have disappointed you, Your Grace. I once hoped for a chance to do some higher-level work. I had no idea you two were big shots who were worthy of speaking with His Grace. Losing out on such a big opportunity because I couldn't see past my own nose.
Plenty of time ahead, Deacon. There'll be more opportunities. Well, I believe that concludes the introductions. We've already taken enough time here. Deacon, if you would.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take my leave now.
Please, follow me. To make you feel more welcome, I'll show you around the various facilities of the Fortress of Meropide. I hope it'll help you adjust to life here.
He's going to personally give us a cure?
Let's just roll with it.
No wonder Charlotte's so interested in him. He's one of those mysterious types. Alright, let's keep up with him.
Cool. Like an underground city. Pretty interesting.
There's no need to be so reserved. The label of criminal is nothing but one of many identities. And being criminally inclined here at the fortress is just one of many ways to survive.
Is it really okay for the warden to think like that? We're real criminals, you know. What if we're too difficult to handle?
Well, then maybe you'll be able to carve out a name and a place for yourselves in this underwater world, But before you go in swinging, please remember that in the Fortress of Meropide, it's better to not cause trouble for yourself or for the guards. Now, we've arrived at a very important place, the Coupon Cafeteria. You can come here and claim one welfare meal each day.
Welfare meal? You mean it doesn't cost anything?
That's right. Criminals are essential to fortress operations, so we must guarantee that they at least have the basic means to survive.
But that's not how it was. Back in the day, it cost your reward coupons just to get a cup of water here. For fish like you who just arrived with nothing, you'd have to go to work hungry until you earned enough coupons to eat. It was only after His Grace became the administrator that we got the free meal rule. Now everyone gets a square meal every day, even no-good slackers who've never picked up a wrench in their whole lives. Nobody starves to death here.
In the Fortress of Meropide, credit coupons are the only currency, and everything must be purchased. In some sense, you could say using the coupons is a form of trade. But trade is always conducted by people. So if we want trade here to prosper, we need everyone to work hard and live their lives. If nobody could even afford a meal, then the whole fortress would be up in arms. And that would only make things more difficult for me. So, rather than saying that we're giving everyone a free meal here, you should say that everyone's hard work has improved the living conditions in the Fortress of Meropide.
Your Grace's reasoning is correct, but what I said is also true. Whatever the case, hard work is rewarded here. You'd be hard-pressed to find anywhere else as fair and reasonable.
Right! Paimon sees your point. By that logic, this place doesn't seem so bad after all. Oh, wait, no. We shouldn't drop our guard so quickly. But it seems the inmates really respect the Duke because of his attitude, right?
You can say that.
We should still try to verify the truth with our own eyes.
Let's continue this way.
Seems like a really cool guy. Coupon, cafeteria staff. What was that? Okay. Like I said, it's starting to look like an underground city.
No time to lose.
Okay.
This place is known as the Pancration Ring.
Okay.
Sometimes we have criminals who have more energy than they know what to do with. Their daily work alone isn't enough of an outlet for them. So, instead of leaving them to their own devices, we've provided them with this dedicated venue. This way, nobody will get involved unless they want to be.
Pancration matches? And you can earn extra coupons? Oh, what do you think, traveler? Interested?
But I must warn you that your sentence will be extended if you fail to restrain yourself and end up seriously injuring or killing your opponent.
Seems you know me too well.
So, did you set this place up too?
No, actually. I just granted approval for the organizer to use this area to build the ring, and I collect a portion of the proceeds in return. Of course, the fees are also quite useful.
Oh. Do you mind if we ask what they're used for?
Sure. Ensuring personal safety, maintaining the arena, and resolving any conflicts that arise. Why? Are you interested in how to manage a pancration ring?
Oh, no. Paimon was just wondering if that's how you paid for everyone's welfare meals.
A reasonable guess. I see you have a talent for entrepreneurship.
Oh, you hear that? Paimon has a talent! So we can start a business here?
That is something you can discuss between yourselves later. Let's move on for now.
Huh? That look in your eyes. You found something?
A little something.
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of information.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo, you have my full and undivided attention.
Summarize your findings, Lyney.
Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child's exact whereabouts. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his disappearance.
The most important thing right now is to catch up to him.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase after him.
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Sure.
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later.
Alright. Counting on you.
It's the least I can do. We're all in this together, so it's only fair for us to fulfill our end of the bargain. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Wriothesley's watchful eyes.
Collecting information has always been our strong point.
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. We know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too.
Sure.
Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremine's no master of disguise, Lynnette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission. So, you are the only ones we can count on.
What do you want us to do? Will it be hard?
What do you want us
Well, I
to
won't
do?
call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it off.
Okay.
Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious of you. Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, and pass those on to me alongside anything else you're able to discover. But also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first.
Do you only say that because I'm in... Sounds good, I'll give it my best shot.
My apologies. I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost as if I was talking to my younger sister.
But that's not a bad thing, right?
What if I'm the older sister?
All right, then we'll head out as soon as we finish our prep.
Let's go our separate ways for now, then. Don't forget, we meet here again in 9 days. Stay safe.
After doing some prep work with Paimon, you begin slowly approaching the infirmary and blah 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 blah.
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek.
Alright.
There seem to be several people inside.
Try to eavesdrop on him. Jump on my head in the corner and try your best to eavesdrop on the people. Several people appear to be engaged in conversation.
It's not impossible.
It's a bit hard to understand them from here, so why don't we just try to talk to them in person? Let's go as soon as you're ready.
Yawn and take a long deep breath before inhaling a large amount of vapor from a foul smell. Recall correctly, the potion is a result of a failed attempt at alchemy once.
Someone, please help! She's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin.
The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do. Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Could it be poison?
Let me take a look. Please, lie down over here.
Ah, my stomach hurts.
Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
You can do it, traveler.
Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you.
Got a few instruments and we're going to do our checkup. I hope I'm not so healthy now.
I see now. My checkup has confirmed that she's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst fear out of the way.
Eh? Oh, that's good. But
I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax and take a deep breath.
Elements energy too, her expression.
Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here?
Not too bad.
And here? Huh? But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here. How strange.
Am I acting a little too over the top?
What about here? Does this hurt?
Really feel it.
Oh, I understand. So that's what it is. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up.
so that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything more serious.
And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Wolsey, of this problem as soon as possible. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine for you? Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
And she hopped away just like that.
This infiltration mission is going as pretty smooth. Green.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
Still not too good. Keep staring at her, I'll draw unwanted attention. That guy also seems to have noticed. Now he's looking in my direction too.
Her stomach aches really bad. She was stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's really worried.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry. She's the best medic we've got down here.
She's the only medic you have down here.
It also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is useless, you know? Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
That's correct. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
Are you two also sick?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups, and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As for her... you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now! Please, keep it civil at least.
These two seem to have a pretty terrible relationship, and only ran into each other because they came here to pick up beds at the same time. Outside of the two of them, there's nothing suspicious. All the files on the table appear to be patient records. While there's a box, I can check it out. I can't check it out right now. Also, aren't very many furnishings on the wall. Wait. There seems to be a movable hatch on the ground over there.
Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to argue over silly things like this!
But...
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
The presence of a movable hatch isn't strange by itself. Adventurer's intuition speaking. Isn't it a bit strange that there's a movable hatch here of all places?
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier, I don't want to see your face here again anytime soon.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? But there's no need to keep dwelling on him. I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Sijuin should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine.
Thanks for looking after me.
No, it's nothing.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sijuin.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days' worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest.
You take the stomachache pill that Sijuin gave you.
Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight. You'll benefit from a good night's sleep.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon, too.
Thanks.
See ya! I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double-check a few details, if that's all right with you.
Cool.
Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? Paimon can answer the questions instead. So her primary symptoms are abdominal pain, with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else? That's it. All right then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds? No, her base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure she'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods, and don't stay up too late at night. Got it! Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure. Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest.
Move yourself in a regular patient's bed and relax completely. There is weariness from work, blah blah blah. However, still catch some hints of Paimon's conversation.
We've been to lots of places together. She may look a bit under the weather now, but she's actually super strong. Oh, so you're the best of companions. Well, don't worry, she'll recover soon. Ah, you're awake. How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left.
Feel a lot better, thank you.
Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take your meds regularly, and remember bland foods. Thank you, Miss Sijuin. Seems like a lot of people have been coming down with an upset stomach lately. I'll need to address that.
Well, this is probably going to be definitely a healer type character coming down the road. More than likely it's going to scale with HP.
Are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death!
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, go take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation now! Paimon talked with Sijuin the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary?
There's some weird things about that place. Patch on the ground, as well as the question Sijuin asked Lord Reed. Alright, Paimon, hear me out.
Whoa! You really are super thorough! All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't even pick up on! We've gotta get the info to Lyney!
Okay. Managed to pass a slip to a busy Lynette as she happens to pass by. Her disguise is impeccable. Call that a disguise?
Today's the day! Let's go meet up with Lyney!
Hmm? Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when you infiltrated the infirmary. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynnette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you did in exchange for Fremine's help, you've already done more than enough. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given person. Lynnette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynnette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Then, let's go check on Lynnette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation right about now.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynnette knows this as well, so this should be a good time to meet up with her.
Yeah, we heard about that, Jim.
Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother to care about his younger sister's well-being.
Okay, then let's head over right away!
Lynnette should be here right now. Huh. Strange. Lynnette?
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynnette here?
You have found a lead and led to follow it?
No, Lynnette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back soon.
Okay. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that one over there.
That's the one Lynnette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
Mm-hmm. She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest, while she left to retrieve the medication.
Yeah.
Which means, either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynnette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse intentionally left it this way.
Not a good sign.
There are some books here and a few files. like medical record. Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide to the psychology of emotions, and the meaning of laughter. These sure are some interesting books. Who knew Sijuin would be interested in these kinds of things? She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings. Is it because she's a Melazine? Or does she have a need to understand her patient's emotional state?
Seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy for a nurse from time to time.
This is it! We saw it before!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynnette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over here!
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regards."
This is...
Is that all?
Anything on the back?
The back! This is...
Show me! Now!
That look on your face! Paimon's reading it now! Would you care to guess where Miss Lynnette of the Fatui could be right now? No! Could she have... Is she already...
Wriothesley... Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Why would he choose to act during our second infiltration attempt instead of the first?
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by neuvillette, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go after her? Don't panic, just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now. Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means... The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds, could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
He deliberately made them both disappear.
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down.
Hey, Lyney? Mind just, calming down for a moment?
Don't be like this, Lyney. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them. I'll go talk to Wriothesley.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynnette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
That's a smile.
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time. Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! She's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are quite sharp. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted.
Oh, damn.
Why? What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill. Wait! It's no use, we have to catch up to him! He's already out of sight! How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office!
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the Fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynnette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynnette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynnette. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meropide is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynnette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not? What do you really want?
Lyney!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me.
Where are Lynnette and Fremine?
Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynnette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So where do you think he may be right now?
Wait, you can't mean... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Lyney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynnette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meropide, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Lyney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynnette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meropide? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Furina have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Lyney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Lyney!
Why do you have to do this?
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress. I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynnette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5...
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Lyney.
Wriothesley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Please wait, we really not talk about this some more?
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Lyney, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
I want to save Fermine and Lyney too.
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
Oh shit, we're doing this again. Oh god. We'll see it if you keep. We'll see it if you keep working continuous.
We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near their production zone. It seems like she can perceive the general state of a person's health just by looking at them. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin be doing during that time? We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near their production zone.
Under what circumstances does a strange me appear?
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the Fonta promoter has been struggling I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near their production zone. It seems like I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch.
Oh god.
We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near their production zone. It seems like she can... Fonta's internal reports suggest that the research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. Because of that, according to Collins, the Fonta promoter has been... We often see Miss Sijuin... We often see Miss Sijuin... We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners...
There is no other question. None of these answers fit.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. According to Collins, the
Yeah.
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed...
Oh. Okay, no. Alright.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize... The research note said that the Melusine race perceives...
That makes no sense.
Ah, so that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared, but in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost. Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. However, unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense of aesthetics is even more alien to us. The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged. All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight. Why is that?
If someone tries to support both boxers at the same time, they receive a package the next morning which contains a strange blood-colored liquid. I've also done a lot of research on this matter. Let me sit through what I found and come up with a correct answer. Alright, that's shit. Who sent the package containing the strange fluid?
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has to undergo... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only idiots who don't understand the value of coupons would spend them on... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. Fonta's internal reports... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. The company must want a return on their investment as well.
Alright, let's flip those.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize...
Okay. They think only idiots would buy it, so people who would buy 2 drinks, it must be idiots.
Ah! Paimon gets this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid of. That hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange, blood-colored liquid. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fonta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's own staff were questioning the company's decision-making. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale, to see how it might be received by customers. They came to the Fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fonta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words, I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. Alright, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Wriothesley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynnette and Fremine never even crossed your mind. You'll pay for this!
Lyney, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigewinne. That was a fantastic shot.
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sigewinne? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
Sigewinne... You...
Are you his accomplice in all this?
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Neuvillette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties.
Excuse me.
But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lyney someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us?
I'll learn a thing or two about virtue from him.
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Neuvillette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you. What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want. Let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave Miss Lynnette in your care.
You... What are you doing?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clorinde. My door.
Fremine... Fremine...
What's going on? What is Clorinde doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Lyney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clorinde while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
Okay, so she's checking up on Furina, even though Lyney's not too happy about it.
These
Granted,
symptoms are probably
needs help.
caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not critical. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynnette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lyney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
That's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Lyney, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I'm back, everyone.
Lyney! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too. Fremine? Is he...
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
Immediately come to look for Renee, whatever.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynnette, together?
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
Very well.
The Duke and Clorinde are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clorinde will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of the sea.
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water.
I'll go take a look as well. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Okay.
I can't die here.
What's going on?
This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push on.
Clorinde.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone, but there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
Interesting.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clorinde brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clorinde, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak for Monet. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynnette is right. I believe Miss Clorinde will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Wriothesley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
I didn't know I was gonna talk to him.
It's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lyney?
No. Please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lyney.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegeween?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clorinde. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Want to explain yourself, Wriothesley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Alright, please enlighten us as much as you'd like.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lyney's goals from the very beginning?
Probably.
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Why didn't you try to stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Lyney suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lyney's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the Fortress of Meropide is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Lyney's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Clorinde down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Clorinde could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
Forbidden Zone really does exist.
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Or so out of
Even
curiosity.
if the truth may not be pleasant.
Sure, go
Follow
for
me.
it. What? Oh. Okay.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Wriothesley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meropide is. Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Okay.
This is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
And that is...
What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Alright, you got my curiosity.
Huh, so there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Yeah, there's totally 3 gates. That's a lot of doors for something.
They all just went up one by one.
What's in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
Strange on its own. There's also a dab in the
I've
middle.
been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meropide. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking? Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Primordial seawater is continuously leaking into the sea.
Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And if this gate falls, or fails, all of Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meropide be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meropide in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So, as the Duke of Meropide, what do you plan on doing about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
That was interesting. So
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Yeah, we have.
Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the Fortress of Meropide?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
they together?
Is that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
So is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
This is...
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee.
Okay.
Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
This is quite a plan.
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
Alright. Okay then.
I'll leave you here for
This
now.
man's been up to a lot of shit.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
It means that my actions now will decide the next steps Lenny's group takes. Putting the ball in my court. In other words, if I want to tell Lenny the truth, I must make him understand what we cannot... I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Yeah, we will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Alright then.
No time to lose.
Alright, guys.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Wriothesley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Wriothesley and Sigewinne.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Wriothesley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
And he sounds a lot more like his own self.
Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sigewinne is also busy with something or other, so let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the Fortress of Meropide.
That's an easy one.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Lyney.
Secondly, Wriothesley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Meropide is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Iudex neuvillette. Wriothesley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions are pitted against each other, Wriothesley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
And his grasp of the big picture is amazing.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten clorinde to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
For some deliberation, you shared the information you just learned with Lyney, so I didn't have a choice in the matter. By sharing what you saw, you emphasized net.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Wriothesley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The 2 of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the 3 of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lyney when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
We can work together and again, again if necessary.
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, We will try our best to protect you.
Aw, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside. Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another
Okay. Let's see what they talk about.
You're incredibly helpful.
Yeah. You two are always telling me not to push my...
Okay, they're just gonna have to put conversation. To the cafeteria! Oh, it's right over here.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Okay.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijwin? And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Clorinde's dinner as well. Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria. What would you like to eat?
We can choose.
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
The tasty stuff you have to offer.
Me too! Don't forget, no problem.
Okay, we got some food. Alright, we eat the food.
So delicious.
Free dinners are absolutely the best.
Is this how it feels to be freeloaders? Wait a second, we did do plenty of work after all. Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious.
Was it? Thank you.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment. Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings? A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you. You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister. Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
I like how Clorinde just stood back there in the back.
What did you mean back in Wriothesley's office? When you said that you were protecting Lyney and his siblings as well. Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Clorinde is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorinde left, to make sure that Lyney wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorinde had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Lyney as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger. You were all super considerate and really thought everything through. It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Neuvillette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
That doesn't make sense at all. It's hard to imagine Neuvillette outside of his office.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Miss Clorinde.
Clorinde!
Ah, it's you two.
How's dinner?
It's all right. Miss Sijwin really put in a lot of effort.
So we heard that Wriothesley invited you to come down to help, and you saved Fremine too. You sure work super fast.
Oh, it was child's play.
Still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could take on side jobs. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sijwin and the Duke? Won't you get bored eating by yourself?
Miss Sijwin was with you, and the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
Yeah. First time in a long time.
first time in a long time. So you mean you've gone out to dinner with her in the past?
In the past, yes. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here.
This is technically a work trip for us too.
Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around unnecessarily.
Let's see.
Take it easy.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Yeah, yes. Okay. She really immediately fell asleep.
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Wonder if I'm gonna have a dream, because we still need to kind of resolve Child's disappearance. Are we?
Wait! Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running?
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Dude.
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
No. I'm gonna wake up. We need to go outside and see what's going on. What's going on?
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
There's no time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! There you are!
What's going on?
Thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here.
Oh, that's coincidental.
Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us.
That His Grace said to evacuate outwards?
Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Means whatever happened, just happened down below.
No.
Yep.
It can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Yeah, it has something to do with the door.
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Take it easy.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
Sounds like a monster.
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Oh, damn.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, damn.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
That was a pretty cool action sequence. Very well animated. Very well animated.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Furina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Furina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Okay, you can explain everything else to me later.
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
I guess he already knows. Okay, the two of you are here.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Furina to the best of your abilities.
I'll do my best. Oh, here we go.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Furina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
This is the Knave, head of the House of Hearth, and the Lyney's sibling's father. She's certainly does seem not easy to deal with. Greetings.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Furina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Furina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
She seems friendly enough, but that can't be all there is to her. The Knave is a force to be reckoned
Traveler,
with.
what do you think of this cake?
Pretty good.
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Furina and I.
True.
I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
I have faith in his abilities.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Furina looks quite nervous. There must be some kind of bad blood between her and the Knave.
Oh, So you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Furina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Iudex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette.
I managed to find a few leads on his whereabouts.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meropide.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Meropide lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
We do not. But there was also no evidence that he has been injured or killed.
Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
Turning up the pressure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to convince her, but I can at least try to distract her from Furina. That sounds good to me, yes.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded. Huh?
Oh.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Furina.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
Oh, shit.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Shit.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. The tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Impressive. And very well animated. Again, they do a great job at animation. Whether it be here in Genshin Impact or in
Seems like the
Honkai
problem
Star Rail.
inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Clorinde thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Back to the delegation.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Furina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Heart have devoted everything to saving their homeland.
Going hard.
You? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures!
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high!
Furina's not acting like her usual self. She's actually seriously refuting the knave's accusations. It's what she says. She's not putting on her front. That's true. She is not acting like her boastful self.
Then I ask you, Miss Furina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
Oh, so that was all a lie? Or can she really not tell us? She was so full of conviction and confidence just now, but now she's deflated like a popped balloon.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable
Now she's
to
putting up a
perceive
front.
them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan
Here
is
she goes.
also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Furina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Furina. I first caught wind of this when Lyney tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Furina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Furina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
These aren't topics I can speak about. I don't even know what Neuvillette's task was. I'd guess he's probably went down to deal with the surging primordial sea, but can he really deal with it all by himself? Well, he kind of did. If you're not being truthful or not.
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
Okay.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Furina's table, and I was merely catering to Miss Furina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Of course.
Paimon's coming too.
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined.
Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
Okay. I thought I did get the picture viewpoint for here. Oh shit, I guess I didn't. Whatever.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
What do you want to say then?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
There's no need. Was there anything else you wanted to say?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the Fortress of Meropide. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Lyney, Lynnette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Lyney.
You mean wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Lyney's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
Go ahead, I'm interested.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meropide.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself.
Okay.
I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
It looks pretty good in that scene. Yep, she looks, she made herself look pretty good in this scene.
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
the fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Furina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
Yeah, when it comes to Furina, she couldn't bring her... If she were to bring up that she was nearly assassinated, yeah, I'm sure a handful of people would kind of take that as a blasphemy, so to speak. But for Furina, she knows that she's an Archon. She's supposed to be powerful. If she couldn't even handle an assassin, and the fact that the assassin got away because of pity, then it would just make it would destroy Furina's pride, and it potentially she told people about it. She brought it up, and she made news out of it. Like I said, there would be some people that would defend her, but there would also be people that would be like, "Wow, the assassin got away, and Furina or Focalor didn't seek retribution, didn't defeat the person. Truly a powerful Archon." That would be the problem with Furina. She spoke about it, and this is the thing. This is what I've been kind of wondering: is Furina the true Hydro Archon, or, like she's saying, is it neuvillette, or is it someone else?
I have to find the Gnosis. If the neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the Fortress of Meropide. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Okay.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Furina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meropide will be a front. Lyney and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Lyney's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Furina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Furina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, That doesn't seem right to me either.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Furina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday.
Neuvillette.
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Furina.
So you ask what happened down there?
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate.
As for what happened on our side, and we tell him what happened. What's up, it's Coot?
So as expected,
How you doing?
the knave has
Hope you're
turned
doing
up
all
the
right,
pressure
dude.
on Furina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
The knave has turned up in the pressure of your age. Can I ask you some questions?
Permission granted.
Yeah, feel free, dude. I appreciate it. You have enough power to force back the primordial sea. Does this mean that you have some deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Furina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
Did you manage to protect those that needed to be defended? Or did you sense in the Fortress of Meropide?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
Clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds. The rain became heavier, like rain, blah, blah, blah. And just for moments before, Noah has just mentioned his sense of grief. Thinking back to the legend and what Ferminet said, it said that a dragon of water once resided over in front of Fontaine. Every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour. Neuvillette,
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He's the dragon sovereign of water.
The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Furina? My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a
Thanks for
secret.
the code, dude. I appreciate it, man.
There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Teyvat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental Archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meropide? Paimon is a little worried.
Alright, see you later, Neuvillette.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
If it's still gonna be